Gurd is a tech house musician from the UK. Definitely a genre I've been wanting to get more into in the past year or so. So I've been trying my best to shine a light on plenty of different types of artists within the bracket of house music. And Jon Gurd is another artist to add to the pile, not one that's getting a huge amount of attention at the moment. So I thought he's a great example of why I should be shining a light on this kind of music. He's flying under the radar with a lot of music critics and publications, so it seemed perfect for me to do my best to at least get his name out there and get more people aware of this album here. It's his debut album named Lion, and for a debut album it is pretty damn good. He's hardly reinventing the wheel, not that he has to be inventing anything, but he's just doing the style at a really good level, showing that he can blend different styles together too. You got some kind of like tropical house type stuff on a few of these tracks, which is of course one of the mainstream sounding types of subgenres in house music that we've been hearing over the past few years. Kind of been done to death, but I think he does it in a fairly tasteful way here. You even got some fairly like breakbeat type stuff on a few of these tracks. The title track is definitely the best example of that. Has this kind of like progressive type sound to it. I really like the way that the track is structured. Sort of reminds me of something like Nathan Fake would do. Has this kind of like atmosphere to it, very subtle, but it is done in a really good way. It's hard to deny that he has this great knack for just kind of like subtly luring you in with some of these tracks, with how hypnotic they are. See It is the perfect example of this. I really like the way you don't notice it at all at first, but then as the track progresses you slowly start to realize that you're being sucked in this weird little gem, and you don't actually fully realize that you're becoming quite addicted to it. It's a really great track. I like the way that it just kind of messes with your head in that sense. Some of these tracks have mighty builds that just, you know, take you from one place to another by the end of the track, and it's pretty special how they build up in the way that they do. Some of the more ambient, slower moments remind me of something that Boards of Canada would be doing, which I think is the highest praise you could ever give an artist on their debut album, because of how legendary Boards of Canada have become over the years. So that's the thing with this album. He's definitely showing his influences throughout, but he's kind of flaunting them and flexing them in a way that shows how good he can kind of manipulate them into his own style and just create some really great tunes. I mean, that's what I like about this album, I think, the most. The tunes are just completely great. Together takes on board the tropical house type stuff I was saying earlier. It just reminds me of being like at a sunny beach, just has a great tone to it. It again kind of like builds up, slows down, builds up, slows down. It's a great track that could only be ready-made for some kind of festival event. Goodbye comes directly after Together, and this has a guitar loop that's really nicely incorporated. Like, it keeps coming back in and out of the song in a really tasteful way. And I feel as though if Together is a sunny day at the beach, then Goodbye directly coming after it is sort of like the cool down in the evening, where, you know, you're just trying to have a nice chill evening, have some food by the sunset. It just has that kind of warmness to it, and I feel like it works nicely alongside the track Together. If that was intentional, then great on Jon Gurd for doing that, but if it wasn't intentional, then I actually really like the contrast between both songs coming after each other, and it just gives me a really lovely feeling. The closing track definitely favors atmosphere above anything else. Definitely knows how to create and craft a great atmosphere within his music. It's a really good album. It's not one I quite say I fully love, because there are some moments that just don't quite as entertain me as others, but I think as a front to back listen, it's a really strong album, and honestly could even grow on me as the year goes by, because I just think Jon Gurd is nailing this sound here, and that's exactly why I wanted to do this video. 7.5 out of 10 from me. Definitely worth your time, especially if you're a fan of house and tech house music and any of the genres I've labeled throughout, any of the artists I've referenced to. Definitely something you should be getting on board with. Hopefully you listen to this album based on my recommendation. Hopefully you have a good day. Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell too. You know, you always want to be catching my videos. If you don't have the bell on, you won't know that I've got a video out. So definitely put the bell on. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Subscribe. I've already said that. Goodbye.